Today, we're going to do a little business archaeology. We're digging into the corporate graveyards of Pakistan to uncover the stories of some once mighty brands that have, well, pretty much vanished.
I mean, think about it. Think back to the snacks you loved as a kid, or maybe the first phone you ever had. Some of those brands are still around, bigger than ever. But a lot of them, they're just ghosts now. So where did they all go?
That's exactly what we're diving into. These are some serious cautionary tales. We're talking about household names that absolutely ruled the market, but now you'd be lucky to find a trace of them. So our first section is called Ghosts of the Marketplace, and that's exactly what these brands are. I mean, they were everywhere, in our homes, on our TVs, just a part of our daily lives. And now, well, now they're just memories. So what's the first big reason a giant brand falls? A lot of the time, it's simple. They get outmaneuvered. A smarter, faster rival comes along and just completely outplays them at their own game. Let's take Naras, for example. Back in the 1950s, it was the national sharbet, that traditional sweet fruit cordial. It was a legacy brand, even exported internationally. But here's the problem. They got comfortable. While Naras was resting on its history, rivals like Ruafsa came in with a modern game plan. As you can see, they used aggressive advertising and really eye-catching modern packaging. They captured a whole new generation, and Naras, well, they just couldn't keep up. They faded away.
Okay, next up, polka. For an entire generation, the word polka was ice cream in Pakistan. They were the undisputed kings, but their whole empire crumbled because of one single negotiation. And it all came down to one number.
40 lakh rupees. Now, in the grand scheme of the corporate world, that might not sound like a huge amount, but this was the exact figure that sealed Polka's fate. It was the gap in a negotiation that ended up changing the ice cream market in Pakistan forever.
And this table right here shows exactly how it all went down. Unilever came in, they offered 60 lakh rupees to buy Polka. Polka said, no, we want 1 crore. So the deal collapsed, all because of that 40 lakh difference. But Unilever didn't just walk away. They pivoted. They launched their own global powerhouse, Walls, in Pakistan. And with that kind of marketing muscle, well, Polka was quickly overshadowed and eventually just kind of melted away.
All right, let's move on. Some brands aren't beaten by a rival, but by time itself. They get trapped in a bygone era, totally unable to see the future that's barreling right towards them. The story of Dantonic is a perfect example of this. It was the absolute king of dental care back when tooth powder was the standard. But the world was moving on. New players like Colgate came in with the convenience of toothpaste. Dentonic was just too slow to react. By the time they finally launched their own paste, the market had already crowned a new king. They weren't just beaten by a product, they were made obsolete by an entire category shift. And oh, who could forget this? There was a time when the whole idea of a touch mobile for the average person in Pakistan meant one thing and one thing only: Q-Mobile. And they absolutely dominated. Between, say, 2010 and 2015, they just ruled the local market. They used massive advertising campaigns, got all the big stars, and it worked. Q-Mobile put a smartphone in the hands of millions for the very first time. For a while there, they were on top of the world. But the tech world, as you know, moves at lightning speed. While Q-Mobile was crushing it locally, global giants like Samsung and Apple were completely redefining what a smartphone could be. Q-Mobile just couldn't compete with their innovation, their supply chains, their software. So today, the brand is really just a shadow of its former self, mostly known for basic feature phones, what people locally call Pipa phones. But here's an interesting twist. Brands don't always fade away because they fail. Sometimes it's the total opposite. They are so successful that they get acquired and then completely erased. 1 million. In 2007, that is how many subscribers the new mobile network Worrid signed up in just 75 days. It was one of the most explosive, most successful market entries the country had ever seen. So this timeline shows a totally different kind of disappearance. Worrid's incredible success made it a super attractive company to buy. Its rival, Mobilink, did just that. For a little while, they both existed, but eventually, the parent company decided to merge everything under its stronger brand, which was Jazz. And just like that, the Worrid name was retired. Its millions of users basically went to sleep as Worrid customers and woke up as Jazz customers. A true success story that ended in absorption. So, after digging through all these corporate graveyards, what are the key lessons here? What can we learn from these ghosts of the marketplace? It really boils down to a few powerful truths. The story of Dentonic teaches us you have to adapt or you become a relic. NARS is a huge warning to never, ever get complacent about your competition. Polka is that stark reminder that one bad negotiation can be fatal. Cumulel shows that no matter how dominant you are, your time at the top can be very short. And Worried proves that even wild success can lead to your name just vanishing from the map.
So that leaves us with one final question for you. Thinking back on all these brands that were once such a big part of our past, which one do you miss the most?